Okay, so we should be on.
Yes, I believe we are.
Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about the mighty for loop, which is the loop you will be using the
Yeah,
most.
almost all the time.
Yes, and I am going to talk about multiple ways of actually using the said for loop. So, the reason why we use a for loop is because it has conditions in its, I want to say, what do you call that top part of when you're using one of those kind of loops? The parameters?
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
parameters.
All right, and the parameters of the for loop, there's more than one condition. There's multiple conditions, so you're actually taking care of multiple conditions at the same time. You're checking a bunch of stuff basically. So let me show you the basic structure of the for loop. I'm going to do it right up here because I am pro. Dang it! No, I'm not.
One sec, Booga. Let's make sure that you don't mess up, because cut you. You already did it wrong.
Hmm?
There's semicolons.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
Each piece is separated by a semicolon. Because that's just how it is.
Yeah. So this right here is not necessary. But if it's not in the for loop, then it has to be declared somewhere else.
Correct.
This is necessary. Did I misspell that?
Nah, it's fine. Whatever.
This is not an English class, by the way. Alright, so here's the reason why we use for loops all the time. Actually, we're kind of going over that, but let me just show you a quick reason why. I don't know if you've realized this, but usually when you do a while loop, you got some condition in here, right? By the way, this is all pseudocode, so I guess it should be commented out, but whatever. So, and then the condition changes somewhere in here. Alright? That's basically the anatomy. When you do with a for loop, this right here happens up here. Much easier to write. Not having to deal with scopes or anything like that.
Yeah. Usually a for loop is good for loops that you know how long are going to be ran through.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. While loop is for a loop that you don't know when you're going to stop. For loop is for a loop that you know when you're going to stop.
Exactly. So if
Okay.
you know how many times you want to do a certain operation or a certain statement, then a for loop is probably the way to go.
So if you guys remember, I think for the do while and the while loop, we actually did a counting program. I kind of want to do the same thing here and show them how it's different. Yeah. So let's do a counting program right here. So see out. I want your keyword.
That sweet, sweet sound.
Dude, you have any idea what racket I could do with this keyword?
Oh, I think I got them blue switches. So everybody knows what I'm typing. Cool for statement.
Well, this is how I code usually. I put skeletons down, then I fill them up as I go.
Oh.
Is that weird?
Not really. I don't code that way, I don't think. Not like that.
So, right here is a little counter variable. Once again, this is not necessary. I will actually comment this out and do it again a different way.
Could you explain why you put int I equals 0? Why you're declaring an I?
Well, we need a counter variable. So, you see how in here we put initial condition? But I guess it shouldn't be called initial condition. I guess this should be called like counter or something.
No.
Or
It's
anyway,
our initial condition, because that's where we start.
I guess, but there should be a technical name for it, but I guess I don't know it off the top of my head. Anyway, usually it's going to be a counter. I've actually done for loops with other stuff too. But, okay, so we're going to increment I each time, so we're just going to see out.
Yeah.
And put a sleep.
Yep.
Put a sleep on it.
You sleep. The number.
1. This is actually exactly how we did it, and let's not destroy my head by not unloading the buffer.
Alright, so
do
we want to run it?
I actually forgot to say the order of events. So
yeah, okay.
It goes like this. This initial condition happens only once.
Correct. Because
then
it's a scope.
Each time we execute this is going to be checked. This only runs if this condition is true.
Correct.
This only happens if the for loop ran once. Or I guess if each time the for loop is ran, this condition happens.
You would say for the first time, or when you go into the loop, you do the I equals 0 part. You make sure that the condition is true. Then you execute the code.
And then you
increment.
And then you check again.
And then you check the check the
condition,
and then you execute the code.
And then you
increment.
Check again, or increment.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I think this is it. Gosh,
let's run it.
Why does the screen have to flash when I go too far down?
Because it knows you have a mild case of epilepsy, or maybe it's because I know it. Oh. Let's see if you know how to code, Puya.
Oh.
See if you know how to code.
You want to know why I put that semicolon there?
Because you're ending the statement.
No. Because I've been doing databases.
No.
SQL statements, or select statements, and all that stuff. It's the idiocy of the semicolon at the end.
Should just use a slash. Oh.
What?
Pretty sure you can just use a slash or a semicolon.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Anyway, we're gonna count to 100. Of course not. We're counting to 10.
Count to 10.
Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually 10 doesn't show.
Because we started at...
We started at 0. And
Correct.
We're checking as long as this is just less than.
So when we do get to 10 and we increment it, we go check the condition. Is 10 less than 10?
No.
Then we stop the loop.
And so it does not put. So I guess if we want to make this human-like, which is how we count, we do it like this. Alright, and just so you know, usually when your for loops are wrong, it's because you're probably one off.
Yeah.
This always happens.
Usually count too much. You go one more than what you're counting.
Or you go one less. It's really silly, honestly. A lot of mistakes happen that way. And, is there anything else? Oh, yeah, I actually wanted... Epilepsy. I wanted to show you how we can actually execute a for loop without... Because I remember there was one... I think it was some lady in particular that actually got me thinking about this because... Sorry, that one too. Because she actually didn't know you could do for loops without it. So let's go ahead and just show you one real quick without the condition.
Yeah. Well, you still have to put the semicolon there.
Yes, you do. Because it's still a separate statement.
Yes. Well, you just put nub again.
I don't know. I guess I'm weird. Oh.
Should 2YY. You did 2YY.
I didn't?
No.
Thought I did.
2. There you go.
I'm actually kind of tired. Can you believe that?
You're about to miss your movie, Pooga.
Nah, it's okay. You don't want to go with me.
You didn't want to buy my ticket. I would have loved to go with you, Pooga. You never take me anywhere.
Yeah, I keep missing it.
What's your problem?
Did I yank one extra one?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Careful with
You
the.
yanked it too many times.
Careful with the extra yank. All right. So I just realized we're gonna be waiting
Just don't do 10.
20 seconds.
Do 3.
5. We'll wait the same amount of time. We'll wait the same amount of time, Kevin. Stop being such a whiner.
So long. That's way more than 10 seconds.
What? Oh.
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 Less than.
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
And once again, we're off by 1.
Yep.
Curses! It's like we knew. This happens all the time.
That's some basic for loops. We will most likely be using some for loops in our future examples and videos.
Correct.
On how to use arrays more efficiently.
The same. By the way, always when you're doing loops, do whiles, and fors. You need to change your condition at some point, because if you don't, you get stuck in there forever.
And infinite loops aren't good.
No, they're not. And by the way, usually you're gonna use something like this, a k++ or something plus, just increment by 1. But you can actually have whatever the heck you want here. You could have something crazy like, I don't know, the power of k to the third.
It doesn't always have to be plus.
No, it can be
just incrementing 1.
You can whatever you want. You can actually put a freaking function in here if you wanted to. You can put whatever you want.
As long as it gets updated.
Yep. So this is basically what it is. Test condition and condition change. As long as this can be evaluated to true or false, you can put it in here. As long as this changes the condition, it's fine. And this does not necessarily have to be here. And you can actually put a function here too.
Probably.
Alright. Anyway.
Looks good, Pooga.
This was introduction to for loops, and we will see you next time.
Alright.
Bye-bye.